In today's video, we're going to take a look at the new contrast paints from Games Workshop. Okay, Wargamers, let's do this. So, I've got here a Reaver, one of the easy to build Reavers that was base coated with the Wraithbone, then painted with the Space Wolves Grey. And I want to see how it looks if I use the Grey Seer base coat instead. I'm not 100% convinced I like these. It just looks blotchy to me. But I have used the orange. Now that was just on a white base coat. So if I give a bit more light, there we go. I like that, that's quite bright. Then I also tried the Warp Lightning green. And then this one has two coats of the Warp Lightning green, so he's much darker if you have a look at him next to his frond. So yeah, so what we're going to do is live on camera. What I've got is a Space Marine base coated. This is one of the easy to build intercessors. He's been base coated with the Grey Seer. This one was painted obviously with the Wraithbone base coat. Then I've got two more Wraithbone Grey Seer, and they're going to get Warp Lightning. And then I have two Deathguard Wraithbone Grey Seer, which are going to get the Skeleton Horde. So let's start with our buddy here. Right, that's good and shaken. So get a nice load on the brush and just okay. So that is our Space Wolf done. So that's our Space Wolf done. We'll leave them off to one side to dry. We're going to do our Salamanders in their Warp Lightning contrast. A well shaken tub of Warp Lightning, and we're going to do him and him. Salamanders, and here we go. So that's one done with the Grey Seer. Now let's try the Wraithbone. Oh. Contrast Skeleton Horde. Alright. Okay, that's the Wraithbone, which means he goes on this side. Now let's do his buddy. I'm not your buddy. So, what we have here is the Space Wolves final result. We've got our Grey Seer on the left, Wraithbone base on the right. I think for Space Wolves I would prefer the Grey Seer base, although that could just be how well the actual paint went on. This was one of the first minis I did, so it's hard to say whether it's just my first attempt at using the paint, but I do think the Grey Seer one is the best. Now I haven't done any crests, shoulder pads. Don't focus there, focus there. There we go. The crest or shoulder pads of these minis. This is just the base coat down. The gun's not been done. So, and I didn't clean them or anything. You can see there's horrible stuff on the backpack, but I didn't clean them. I mean, they do call it contrast paint, and it does produce a nice contrast. So, tabletop ready? I think definitely. Whether or not it's a good thing for beginners to be able to do this, because it is a big transition between slapping the paint on without really caring, and individually using the fine tip brush to pick out the finer details and do the job right. So, but that's the Space Wolves anyway. So now we have the Warp Lightning contrast paint, and this would be for Salamanders, I think. That's certainly not what I would use it for. So, but as you can see with these two models, there he is. Again, we have our Grey Seer, this guy, Wraithbone, this guy. Once again, no details painted, just the base coat of the green, and I missed his hand a little bit there. So, but yeah, I actually missed his whole hand. I think if you look at these two, I don't know which one I prefer. I prefer probably the Wraithbone. It's a little bit more contrasty. From behind, there's very little to tell between them. So I think this one's purely subjective. If you prefer ever so slightly brighter, this one. If you prefer ever so slightly more muted, this one. Up to you which one you prefer, but that's that result. So just for reference, here is an intercessor in my current color scheme. It's a bit lighter. And let's bring back the Wraithbone. The vibrancy of the Wraithbone base for the Warp Lightning is, I think, very impressive. I might paint up a full squad of these guys and fully detail them out, do the full bolter gun, the eyes, the flames in the shoulder pad, just to see. But yeah, I do like this. I think something that's holding me back is knowing that if I decide I like this enough to replace my normal colour scheme, then I've got about 30 intercessors, some hellblasters, a dreadnought, a few other, a redemptor, a repulsor. Yeah, but it is nice. So what you like is what you like. If anybody's any feedback as to which one they prefer, please let me know. I mean, purely subjective, but it'd be nice to hear from someone else. And here we have the Skeleton Horde contrast. I'm not sure if I can spot much of a difference between them. They're both very, very nice for aged, bleached bone. It really is hard to say. I don't think that makes much of a difference. I mean, I do like them both. I think they're both equally old-timey, weathered bone. Yeah, that is definitely a very good colour. Again, I'm going to paint up a full squad of those, detail them up, add the touches that need to be added, and I think they're good. Yeah, they'd definitely be good to go. I don't have too much to repaint with those ones. I've only basically done some very, very simple base colouring on some of them. I think the only one I've finished is the Lord of Contagion. I've still got all the Warhammer Conquest, 40k Conquest magazine ones to do. So yeah. Well, if you have any opinions, please let me know which one you prefer. I really can't see much difference between these two models. So there's the full set of boys. We've got our Deathguard, our Space Wolves, and Salamanders wannabes. I'm still undecided about this contrast paint. I mean, for tabletop, I think it would be okay. I really do think it would be okay. It is harder to use than ordinary paints, I think, but quicker than doing a base coat and a shade. Anyway, if you have any opinions, stick them in the comments. If you like this video, throw me a like, subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.